4 from Miss Green. Miss Green, would you like to ask your question relating to Werrington playing field?
Yes, thank you. Obviously, following on from what was spoken about earlier, this area was a dual use area for residents of Werrington and with the school as well. What you're proposing is a single use for the school of a vast area of fields that is used daily by many different people, walkers, joggers, children playing, etc. The proposal for such a vast area to be fenced off with a fence that is considerably high and not pleasant looking takes away so much of this field. I myself, I'm a parent, have 3 children that went through Ken Stimpson school. They all were allowed to play out at lunchtime, break time on the fields. They also had their PE out there. It wasn't an issue. I do appreciate in this day and age that we all need to safeguard our children. And I feel that the amount of space that they are planning to take is vast. I can appreciate that they would like an open area for some sports. 1 football pitch size, I think, would be more than adequate. They have many other facilities to use in school. They have hard play area already. They have astroturfs, tennis courts, a hard play area. They have a gym that is now not used by the public during school time. They have many facilities for PE. It's not all to go outside. So therefore, I don't see why they need so much space.
Councillor Hiller, would you like to respond, please? Councillor Hiller.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, Ms. Green, for your question. As I've said before, and at risk of repeating myself, from a planning perspective, we were presented as a planning committee, we were presented with an application, and it went through due process according to how we do these things, and a decision was made. I think a couple of comments you made about the use of the land and quite emotive terms, absolutely, and I can understand your passion about this subject, but under the terms of the consent that we did give as a planning committee, a community use agreement must be entered into by the applicant, and whilst that's not finalised, I understand, I also understand it's currently proposed that the pitch or pitches can be booked for formal use by the public outside school times, and as with any formal pitch operated by the council, the area will be freely available for casual use outside of school time. I'm not quite sure how that, it seems to be contradictory to what you're saying. Perhaps you'd expand on that with any follow-up answer. I don't know whether Councillor Ayres wants to add anything to that.
I don't think I can, except that I do agree with them. This person who's giving the answer, Frances Green, I do agree with her that of course the present day safeguarding is very different to how it was when that school was developed in the first instance, which is back in I think the early 80s or something of that order. And of course safeguarding now is a very, very important aspect of every single school, and indeed on behalf of the council as well.
Thank you. Ms. Green, do you have a follow-up question?
Just a comment really, obviously that it says that it will be available to walk around or to use freely out of school time, but who particularly is going to want to walk around a fenced off area? Not me. Just another query as well, you know, if you fence this area off, what guarantees do we have that that area will then not be built on by the school in future? And also, what guarantees do we have that if this is allowed, this amount of land, are they then in a few more years' time going to ask for more land under the guise of safeguarding?
Thank you. Councillor Hiller, do you want to come back? Councillor Hiller.
Yes, I'll come back factually, Mr. Mayor, and thank you again, Ms. Green, for the follow-up. What I would say to you is the land is retained in council ownership, and I might add that any potential future use of that land, for whatever reason, would need a planning consent. So it's not going to slip under the door or be, land grab, I think was an emotive term that somebody else had used. Unless we know about it, and it has to follow due process again. I hope that reassures you to a degree.
Thank you.